It's Graham Leer, paranormal researcher. I'd like to know if any of the guides, or my guides, could speak to my father, Warren Leer. Warren Leer? Dad? Can you tell me, pardon me, can you tell me if you're here at the present moment, please? It'd be interesting, Dad, just as for you to say in your own words, I love you, Graham, and I love you, Gina. That's all we want to hear, Dad. Can you do that for me? We tried yesterday, but Mum had that fall. Okay, so if you could let me know, that'd be greatly appreciated. Correct. But can Warren Leer say that in his own voice, please? Love. I love you, Graham. I say all day, every day, I say I love you, Dad. Yes, I love you. I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad. Can you get Warren Leer's spirit, please, and get him to say in his own voice, I love you, Graham, please? Dad visits me a lot. Yesterday we went Mum and I, she's just been out of hospital, as you know, and we went to to give blood and all that, and then when I was leaving the flat or the apartment, the cutlery moved. I heard the cutlery clanging, and that would have been Dad. He clacked the cutlery to say, goodbye, basically. And, we have a lot of communication. I speak to Dad all the time, and, I've seen his black shadow at the cemetery as well, So I just want, to be allowed, Warren, my dad, Dad, I just want to say hello. Please, Dad. I love you, Dad. I still have to finish the JFK one. Right, I understand, I've had a lot of communication with Jacqueline Kennedy. Her and I are actually good friends. We've been friends for a long time now, so she's amazing. She's given me a lot of information, and the information is in the video. It's all done. I've just putting the narrations in regards to the JFK, right? But I just want to know if somebody could please tell me if Warren Leer's. I know Warren Leer's around. He's my dad because he bumps and he makes the other week he made the batteries jump up and down in the dirt tin. And I said, "Is it you, Dad?" And he said, "Yes." By doing that, he actually said yes, but he just made the batteries all jump, crash bang, crash bang. There was about 50 batteries. Is anybody able to get just my father, Warren Leer, to say hello, Graham? Hello, Gina, please. Come on, guys. I've got a lot of work to do with paranormal in the future. So we just really need. Dad's very powerful. He's a very, very powerful spirit. I've seen his orb many times in the apartment. He's moved things on my desk at work. When I've looked at his picture on the computer, pens jump up and down and all that. So all we need to do is, just have the conversation, and he could talk to me and I could talk to him. Is that possible? It's nothing. No, it's nothing to do with the money. I make money out of this. There's no money to be made. It's just investigations to help people out. So are any of the spirit guides able to get the any of the spirit guides able to get the spirit of Warren Leer to have a talk to me? Is that possible? That's all we need. Right? He's around, most of the time. We do a lot of communication. He taps back at me sometimes and different things like that. So I just need, if possible, is he able to come through? If he's able to come through and have a talk to me, that's all I need to know. Is it possible? Can you help me out, please? Dad, it's Graham. Hello, Warren Leer. this app is real and the spirits went to design it, Dad's still around. It's not like he's. Well, I suppose he commutes from heaven back to here or to Earth. But I mean, I know you can talk to him. Can't you ask him to say hello, please? Warren Leer, born 27th of September 1933. He passed away on the 27th of September 2022. Yeah, that occurred at Norwest Hospital. So, yeah, they took they reduced, he was going to get out, and they took the fluids away and from him. That's what they did. So, and he had a bad reaction to it. So, yeah. So, anybody there can help me, please. That's all I need. I just need Dad to say, hello, Gina. Mum's had an operation, right? It would make a big deal if she could hear the voice of Warren Leer to say, hello, Gina, I love you. Sorry I died. Something like that. Any spirits able to communicate with Warren Leer for me? Spirit guides? Please? It's nothing to do with money. I don't make money out of this. I don't make money. I never have. I just try to help people solve murder crimes. You know what I've done in the past to help solve murders. I helped Michael Jackson. I helped Princess Diana in relation to her murder. Marilyn Monroe, we all know the answer to Marilyn, told us in the video exactly what she did. And there was another one, I can't remember the other one. I've done a number of them. The rest is all to do with the FBI. So I've done nothing else like for public information. The rest is with the FBI, So it was Michael Jackson, Lady Diana, JFK, which I haven't released yet, Marilyn Monroe, as we know. So, but irrespective, I'd just like to know if Dad could probably come through. So, can you guys help me out, please? Hello? Can you guys, I just want to know if you guys could help me out and just put me through to my father. I just want to have a talk to him. I want to apologise for yesterday. I should have locked Mum in the car. She said she was going to stay in the car, not come out. I cleaned Dad's stone up and everything, and next thing I turn around and Mum was out of the car, and I yelled at Mum like that, and she fell over. I went over to give first aid, and she was on the ground. She didn't hit her or anything, but her right leg was 90 degrees. Complete. Well, can you, sir, I just heard you come through. You said you'll see if you can find him. Can you find him, please? It's Warren Leer. I mean, he's pretty easy to find. He's hanging around the apartment at Castle Hill all the time. I don't know what's, he's at the cemetery at Rouse Hill in New South Wales, up in the hill. I mean, he's not really hard to find. He commutes all the time, backwards and forwards. So I know you guys are pros. You guys are the best of the best. That's why you've been chosen to do what you do. You know everything about everything. I'm giving you credit not just for me to speak to my dad, but I'm giving you guys credit because you deserve it. Right? You're given specific jobs to do, and there's not a huge amount. I know Steve Huff. I know you guys love Steve Huff, but I do have pretty good communication levels. Okay, and I have like one-to-one, because I can ask questions like a telephone call. It normally doesn't work that way with the paranormal apps, but Steve Huff, it's the Ghost Box SCD3. I've done close work on the SCD2, but we move forward now with the release of the app on the mobiles, iPhones and all that, as well as the Androids. Okay, so, you know, so any information you can give me in relation to that matter would be greatly appreciated if that's possible, you know. So, okay, so Mum will be coming out, you know, it won't be too long. She'll be back in the ward, okay? Right here. So, Dad, it's Graham. I love you. Can you just if Dad doesn't want to speak to me, that's fine. But he speaks to me all the time. Like, you know, I ask him a question, I say 1 knock for yes, 2 knocks for no. And we've been communicating like that for ages, but I will, you know, he's tapped my, he actually put his hand on my shoulder at one stage and tapped my leg and all that sort of stuff. So he's pretty powerful spirit, you know. So anyway, I'll just pause this video at the moment. It's been going on for some time now. Can't really go on about it any further, right? And then we'll review the discussion later on if you want. It's not a big deal, right? But this hospital's good. It's, you know, I'll just go through. I might show you a bit of the scenery of what we've got here. So I'll put my mask on because I've got to put. Just hold on. I'll just put this mask on as well. Just hold on. Just have a look around here. Won't be a second. Just show you the scenery. If you want to look at the scenery, you can come back. It's quite a good view from on this side of the level. You know. It's a good view. I'll just show you the view, guys. Yeah, it's not a bad view from here. You know. So there we go. Let's have a look. Just let it focus. There we go. It takes a little bit of time to focus, see? Just go around here. No, it's not bad. And these are parts of the old section. This is called Westmead Hospital. It's a pretty big hospital. They just put the extensions on the hospital probably about like 2-3 years ago, and it cost about $4 billion. And this is the new wing of the hospital, and it gets joined down the bottom. See they've got these corridors and that link that's the old section you're looking at now. And then you got the new section. So there we go. That's a new apartment block there. See, there we go, look at that. We'll get a focus on that one. See? Yeah. A lot of buildings around here, and right here you see the big tall buildings. You can't see them, we're not in the correct angle, but you can see the big skyscrapers like on the other side, you know. Yeah, they've got the numerous big skyscrapers there. That's Paranormal. Anyway, that big building, I'll just show you guys here. That was a Carl Gilroy. I don't know, it wasn't Carl Gilroy. It was
You want to make them back? I want to know why you didn't.
There was a school there. See this one? In the old one in the middle. No, I did actually technics work there when I was doing my schooling. So I went to school around here, so many years ago. After I moved to Australia from America. So born in America, brought up in Australia. But that big building there, I did leather work there. So, and it had nothing there. So right here, it had no buildings. There was all the school I went to had an Olympic swimming pool, had miles and miles of sports field, everything, you know. So that's all been sold off. So to universities, see that building there. That's to do with the Western Sydney University, I think. It's to do with medicine and all that, you know. So that's what they did. It's quite interesting. So when you look at that, so that's all in the old rooftop and everything. And as I said, but you know, that's the old place down there, and they just connect it all up. That's what they do for the new set, you know. Which, how the hell it cost $4 billion. They made out, when they first built this section, they made it was the most amazing hospital. But how could you waste 4,000 million, you know, on a wing? It's just a wing of the hospital, mate. 4,000 million. Oh my God. That's a lot of money, you know. In that building there, they were looking at now, probably only cost, you know, 50 million to make. Mightn't have cost that much at all. How the hell could this... What it is government contractors. They charge... I knew government contractors before that worked for the government, right? They're called government contractors. You ask them to do something, and they multiply it by 10 or 15 times because it's to do with the government. The government just has an unlimited money supply. You don't know how much money the Australian government has. The amount of money that's being poured into defence is extraordinary. And this is all New South Wales government, which is state government paid, but my God, they must have piles of money. This is just one hospital out of many. They're building a new airport out of Eastern Creek as well. Eastern Creek Airport International. So that's coming through. We've already got a number of airports in Sydney anyway. I don't know why we need another one, you know. I think we've got Bankstown Airport, we've got everything. Mascot Airport, we've got airports all through the country. Inverell's got their own airport. Tamworth. There's like, I don't know how many airports we've got. And why do we need another airport? Anyway, so that's it. Anyway, Dad, if you want to say hello, you can. Okay? It's Graham. Right. Anyway, so we'll just go back to have a sit down again. Yeah, we'll just wait till Mum comes through. Basically, just have to wait until Mum comes back out. You know, they can't move her in because there's this guy that can't get out of his bed. Mum's had an operation. And they did X-rays and everything. We're waiting. At the present moment, we're just waiting for Mum to come out so she can go back into this other ward. Which is, when they do the operation, they put you in recovery. She's out of recovery. When she X-rays and they can't get her back. So she's still basically in recovery. So I think they sent after the X-rays to the heart and everything. She's going good. She's not well, but she's a strong woman, Dad. She loves you like anything, you know. She loves you and me so much. So I just, you know, that's all I can say. Just want you to communicate. There's some buildings here as well. I might focus in on these. You know, got a lot of... Reminds me of Los Angeles. It's just got skyscrapers everywhere now. They're just building them all the time. They're just throwing them up. You've never seen anything like it. You know, they're going to build a 90-storey building in Parramatta. Twin Towers are 110 stories. That's what they're going to do. Build a 90-storey building in Parramatta. But it was the Walker Corporation. You know Walker Corporation, guys? And they decided at the last minute to pull it and only make it 60 or 70 stories. So, but that's still pretty high. But Parramatta was going to have one of the tallest buildings in NSW, you know. Yeah. Anyway, it's just, there's buildings going up all the time. That's all it is. You know, I'll see if there's any more. I reckon you can get more footage over here as well. So going through here. I don't know if there's any more buildings over here. Oh, that's probably just rooftops, everything like that, you know. So just have a look. That's just, yeah. No, I think that's about it, yeah. There's nothing to see over on this side, so it's only, yeah. And then you got, this place is nice. This is the middle of the new section. I mean, it should be nice, folks. We've got $4 billion, you know, but they've got nice little courtyards here, you know, to sit. Mum's full private health insurance as well. She's done everything. You've got the little on here. You've got little, you know, areas here where you can sit down. That's an above courtyard, and you can just sit down and relax. And then you've got the rooftop over there. You know, that's quite nice looking down there, I reckon, when you look right down the bottom, see? You know, they finished it off well, but then again, it did cost $4 billion, you know. I think it's about 14 stories high, this new section, you know. Anyway, yeah, if you want to say anything to me, Dad, you can. It's Graham. Just spend the time at the hospital waiting for Mum to be moved over, you know. So, anyway, that's about it. That's about it, folks. Nothing else. There's nothing to do. I'm just stuck here. You know, just stuck here. So, yeah, there's nothing else I can do. So, you know. Not bad the way it focuses. I think this, you know, camera. It's only an Android. You can buy these cameras. This is called an Optus phone. Yeah, it's called an Optus phone, and it's very. I don't know, it cost me $90 or $100. Pretty cheap. And I got a number of these phones. I got American phones and everything straight from the USA. All different tasks. This one's my daily one. If I drop this, it's only cheap shit. I don't care about it, you know. Okay, so I'm going to sign, folks, I'm going to sign off now. It's been going on for 22 minutes now, okay? So, Dad, I'll give you one more chance. Do you want to say hello, Graham? I love you, something like that. Please. You don't have to if you don't want to, Dad. But if any spirit guides out there, you know, it would make a big difference to Mum and I if we could hear Dad say, I'm sorry I died, or something like that, you know. Okay, so I'm going to stop this now. Anybody wants to talk, even Jacqueline Kennedy, you can talk to me. Can anybody get Jacqueline Kennedy? She's a good spirit guide. Her and I get on really well. So Michael Jackson, I did a video on you as well. Who killed Michael Jackson? That's all been published. The cook killed Michael Jackson. It was hilarious. But don't use a first name, because if you do, illegal people will sue. So, a funny woman, because after Michael Jackson died, she went on a world tour, making huge amounts of money, to discuss the real Michael Jackson, right? It was the biggest cover-up in the world. She was, that woman's, ooh, I cringe, you know. It's just not good when people, you know, get away with things and, you know, like that. So we never tried for the murder, you know. The doctor got it. Yeah, tried for, and, well, found guilty of manslaughter charges, you know. Yeah, the doctor and Michael Jackson were, you know, a lot of people don't know about Michael Jackson, but he used to go to strip clubs. He wasn't gay at all. And him and the doctor used to go out. Michael Jackson used to, you know, leave his place that he was living in. That was renting, the rental place that he died in. And he used to put on a mask and everything and go out, and he loved strip clubs, Michael Jackson. He was not a pedophile. He had nothing to do with pedophilia. Nothing to do with it. He liked kids because he had a badge. He never had a childhood. Michael Jackson was just, you know, working. As a child, he never had a chance to live as a, you know, and he wanted to give that loss to other kids. And he's, you know, the Neverland Ranch was amazing. You know, all those kids who who were dying of cancer. He allowed them to come in and they could spend the whole day ride and get food, lunch and everything. All provided, never asked money. He built hospitals in California, Michael Jackson, funded huge hospitals he built for people. People aren't, and they don't know anything about the guy. He donated, I think he donated more money as an entertainer, donated more money to charity than any other entertainer has in the world. So he was very religious, Michael Jackson, as well. People they don't know anything about him. They just see the misinformation that's been put down about him by the children who want to try to make money out of his name and, try to sue him for things he didn't do. He never touched a kid in his life. If he cuts the kid, all he would do is cuddle a kid. A little baby, for example, and kiss it on the head. That's all Michael Jackson did. It was nothing. Hated pedophiles. Couldn't stand them. So, just get out of your heads that poor old Michael Jackson copping it for everything. He's the best entertainer, like the guy's extraordinary. I always liked him as a kid. I was supposed to go to one of his concerts and I never did. We went out with the boys the night and we said, Michael Jackson's in town and he's going to do a big concert. Never went to. Yeah, so that's what happened. I think it was at the State Arena. So we were supposed to go and we never went. Went somewhere else the night, which is stupid, So you regret things. That's one of my biggest regrets, that I never went to that concert that he had, I don't like that. Should have gone to it, but we never did, So anyway, that's it. What else? Other concert I went to. I've been in a number of concerts over the years. Dire Straits, I went to Dire Straits years ago, and it was at the Sydney Entertainment Centre, which my cousin Vanessa Steele, she's a model and an actress, right? And anyway, Vanessa opened up this is in Sydney, Australia. Anyway, I saw Dire Straits. I thought they were quite good. I liked the guitar player and everything there. And my brother, he had all the Dire Straits records, everything. And then when we went to the concert, he just said, I can't stand them. He was really upset. And I said, what's the problem? And he says, I don't like them. He said, and I said, you've been buying their concerts, records for years. This, back before CDs were here, Anyway, he says, from now, I'm never listening to another Dire Straits album ever again. And I said, mate, I explained to him, I've done music productions, right? I'm a producer as well. And what the situation is, it's very hard on stage to entertain people all the time. It's very hard to just entertain them all the time, because you might be good at producing music and lyrics and everything, putting it all together, and you get great singers and everything. If you're a producer, that's what you have to do. It's not an easy job. It takes at least 3 months per song and many thousands of hours of work. And people just think you're going to be on stage and you're just going to give it to them. It just doesn't. It's hard enough on stage to reproduce the song to what it is, and that's the major problem with Michael Jackson. He used to tell everybody off because they didn't realise that they had to do it exactly the same as on the CD, and that's what he used to say. So his main problem was getting. He was an original guy who kept on doing concerts over the years, and he specifically informed. And I met Michael Jackson once. And his attitude was that he informed the musicians, you have to do a job and you have to do it the same. You have to listen to the record or the synth or whatever it is. You'll listen to the song and reproduce the music exactly the same. He was he's a perfectionist and it had to be right. And that's why when he did everything, it sounded like a lot of people said they just used to play Michael Jackson songs off the record into this concert, for example. Never. It was all original work, and it was all done on stage. That good that you thought that it was just reproduced from a CD, and Michael Jackson was mouthing it. He wasn't. So that's how good he was, you know. Anyway, enough talk about Michael, but irrespective of it, just want to say thank you guys and girls. You know, any spirits here that are in the hospital, this is a new section, as I said, it's only a couple of years old. So all you need to do in Australia is to come in with your Medicare card, and you don't even have to pay any money. We're going private health because you get specialists coming in on top of the specialists they've already got here, right? But the fact is, you can just walk in on the hospital and you can just get fancy room, people feeding you, everything. You can be in here for months. You don't pay $1. It's free. All you need is the Medicare card. That's all they give. You come to Australia, you get it. That's why so many people want to come to Australia. You know, they can give you houses if you don't want to work. You come to Australia, they give you, a house funded by the government. Your apartment, your house. You've never seen it like it. You don't do shit, mate. You know. I'm a private enterprise person. I work with people all the time who are billionaires and work, and they'll make money and they want more money, and you can't take it with you. I'll just tell you, folks, when you die, the money you make it's in your mind. You might see a bank statement, right? That's got $50 million in it. And you look at that bank statement and say, oh, I've got $50 million. You can only drive one car at a time. You can only live in one house at a time. You can only eat one meal at a time, because we're all individual people. And that's how life is. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. You can't take it with you when you die. And your money that you have here is irrelevant on the other side. It doesn't stand for anything. You know? That's how it works. You know, they did a test years ago. They did a test. I think it was in New York, and they had this bum that was out in the streets, and he was asking for money, and all these guys in suits and everybody walking past, they wouldn't even help the poor guy. And this old woman walked up with a trolley, living on the streets. She gave, I think she only had $20 or something on her, and I think she gave this guy, who was, you know, just as a test. That's what they were doing. She gave him her money, the only $20 she had, and she said, I can beg for it and get it from somewhere else. She said, you need the money more than I do. So what do you think of that? You got these dudes running from Wall Street and that, walking right past this chap. He was bad way. And there was another one they did when one guy allegedly been knifed, and it was fake blood and everything. He's walking down the street, and next thing, on the curb, right? And then next thing is blood all over the place, everything. And he's saying, help me to the people. You know, walking past him. And they did a number of these. A university in the US did that. And anyway, he's lying on the ground begging for help, and nobody helped him. They just walked past him, and he was, you know, they did very good makeup on him. It was pretty, it looked real to me. You know, I've been into medicine. I know how bad it looked. He was badly knifed, but it wasn't real. But nobody went to help, and they just stood there. Some people a number of people got their mobile phones out as well, which is amazing, you know. And they just videoed him. They wanted to video him die. They didn't give a shit about him, you know. And that's how life's become. Everybody just gets their cameras out and they video other people's losses. That's what they do. Anyway, I'm finished now. I'm just going to have some lunch, and I'll wait for Mum to be moved into her ward. Okay, rightio. That's all I'll do. Okay, thanks. And all paranormal people out there, I do paranormal work all the time. I do a lot of voluntary stuff, and I help people. And you know, Dad told me, I spoke to Dad when I was at the cemetery after Mum had the fall. I didn't actually realise her leg had come out of the socket. And Dad's answered me straight away, and he says, yeah, Gina's leg came, the hip socket came right out. It just pulled right out. It's all to do with the hip, and it's going to be, you know, put back together. So they found that she had when they did the x-rays on her, they found that she had a fracture of the hip. So they're going to put a pin to the side of the hip. And years ago, I think they used to put a frame around you to keep your hip together, but they don't do that now. And they put a pin, and they do this with motorcycle guys too. You crash, and a lot of them, you know, the motor GP guys, they have special hospitals where they go to, and they might come off and they fix up a collarbone, or they, you know, fracture a hip. They can put a pin in. They put the oars back together so the next day you can get on the bike and ride. It's amazing the way medicine's become now. So mum will be back on her feet pretty quick, you know. But we'll see what happens anyway. So, okay, but I'm going to call this quits now. I'm going to have some lunch. Okay, see you guys. Take care. I love you guys. Bye-bye.